All right, it's September the 19th, 2023, and earlier today we had the Prince George's County Police Department bar us off of a commercial property where I sit and I download my recordings and do paperwork in my mobile van. All right. They went to this owner and lied to him and told him that I do mechanical work on this property. Okay. At no time do I do mechanical work on this property. But this is what they wrote up. I want y'all to read this. What they went and solicited to get this off. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going on here. One of the members on this property had some dealings with Tacoma Park, and that's what the issue they have with me, because I keep an eye on what is happening in Tacoma Park, Maryland. All right. Now, look, if you look at this letter was supposed to have been written March the 10th, 2023, and they just serving this letter today, September the 19th, 2023. That shows you just how this is just corruption and conspiracy and an attempt to intimidate. Look at the date. Today is September the 19th, 2023, and this letter was written March the 10th, 2023. And it's supposed to be written, and you got to excuse the markings on it because when I moved my van, my coffee spilled onto this. But I want you to just read what this is saying. I'm going to move it slowly so you can read all of this. Now, one thing about this is our law enforcement cannot be an agent of a private commercial property. Can't be. I know they get away with it, but they can't. But this is how they bully people with big businesses and whatever. And we're going to show you what this is all about. As I told you, there is a big investigation coming. We were waiting on this because we were notified that somebody wrote a letter. And this letter is coming from the Association Tacoma Park and some Hispanics in this shopping center. I want y'all, let me let y'all finish reading what it says. That the owner, I want y'all to read this right here. A person found on the property without my consent. These are stores on this property that I patronize. I go in, I buy stuff on it. I want you to finish reading this now. Without unlawful purpose. And that he is giving the servants of the taxpayers authority to ask any unlawful persons to leave the property. So now our servants are working for this big business, y'all. He authorizes Prince George's County Police Department to act as his agent. Law enforcement can't act as an agent for private citizens, but that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, for the purpose of enforcing any law violates on the property. Okay? My agent, or I will cooperate in the prosecuting of these persons for these offenses. I understand this letter. I want y'all to read it. And it's stated permission are valid until the time that consent is withdrawn by myself or to compare to. Okay, look at here. Now, hold on. This is the gentleman's name, the manager. Well, let me ask you a question. Y'all. You see where it says the manager? Okay. How can he be the owner? Owner, manager, owner, and this is the lawyer. Come on. This is a fictitious letter. And I'm not ready to go back because I got another case I'm working on. But I'm finna show you what's going on here. The Hispanics have taken over this shopping center. And you're going to see in the video, I'm going to show you that there's an Indian or Pakistani gentleman who does mechanic work out there and who helps people fix their cars. He's been doing it out there for years. It wasn't a problem until the shooting down at Advanced Auto. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna just leave this here so y'all can read on and get some more. The shooting in Advanced Auto. Now, mind you, I've been parked there way before the shooting. Okay, sitting there monitoring the property, recording and whatever. It wasn't a problem. So he comes to the property, and you're gonna see him in the thing. He comes to the property. And there was a second Hispanic gentleman who came with him and to do mechanic work there. He didn't have that many customers, but they got into an argument. So the Spanish gentleman told him, this Indian or Pakistani gentleman, that he was going to notify the police. And that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. Okay. And then it became a conflict between them two. So the Pakistani gentleman told him to avoid a conflict, he had to go find another spot for himself to do mechanic work. All right. Then we get a homeowners association lady who runs that Sheridan area homeowners association coming down there complaining about the dumping in the trash can and that this gentleman was doing mechanic work. So the code enforcement people came involved and they wrote him a ticket. Okay. I happened to be there. The black gentleman that you're going to see in this video was harassing this Indian Pakistani gentleman because he's not from this country. He doesn't know what his rights are. And this is why I tell you all y'all to educate yourselves on your rights. So I tell him that you're harassing this guy. He's on private property. If the owner or the manager comes, then that would be cool. And they tell him he can't be on the property, whatever. Yada, yada. Okay. So what they do was they call the homeowners association and the Prince George's County police. A female comes up, and the female that has these documents is the one that came up to mess with this Pakistani guy. And I jumped out and I started recording her harassing this guy. And I explained to her that he's on private property. She's not an agent. She's not any of that. If the owner wants him barred or whatever, then they will come down here themselves. But she can't solicit a trespass. And that's exactly what she did. Make no mistake about it. That's exactly what she did, was solicited this trespass. Call these people up. And this manager or owner, whoever this guy is, and we're going to research it, has been to the property numerous times, the management, numerous times. agents from the management office, and they never said nothing to him. Okay. Then all of a sudden, somebody calls on the Spanish people inside the laundromat. They're selling food. They're selling medicine. They're selling clothes. They're selling illegal phones inside of this laundromat without a license, a business license. So somebody called on them, got mad, and called on them. And from what we got back is the inspector said that the guy that was doing maintenance out there is the one that called on them. So this is how the beef started with the laundromat people, okay, with the mechanics. So this lady police officer that you see in this video coming up is the one that keeps coming down there harassing this guy that does help people with their cars. I engaged her when she came down one day and asked him what he was doing on the property. And as you saw in one of my recordings, this is the same officer that stood out blocking traffic on Sheridan Avenue. Okay? I want y'all to look at the date now, March the 10th, 2023. After that incident with me, no, let's go roll back a little bit. One of my cars was getting hot, and I lifted up the hood, and she came to harass the Pakistani, and I just happened to be out there working on my car to get it off the property. And you saw a video of that and me explaining to her what I was doing. As she stated in the recording, you're going to hear that I've been caught doing mechanic work numerous times and told not to by the code enforcement guy. Let me explain this to you. The only time code enforcement said something to me is when I was working on this car, trying to get it off this lot because it was overheating. Okay? And he gave me a notice saying that I was in some kind of violation and that I couldn't work on the property whatsoever. Now, mind you, the Hispanic in the laundromat has been taking photographs of this Pakistani guy doing, helping people do mechanic work on their cars. Okay? But management never came out to say nothing to him whatsoever. Have never approached him. And there has been other law enforcement officers coming through the parking lot, driving by, and nobody has ever said anything to him but this woman who is getting personal phone calls from the association to patrol this area. And I don't know if she's receiving a stipend from the neighborhood association or not, but there's corruption with this law enforcement officer. Okay? Now, we go to where me and her had the beef in Sheridan Street. Now, as I told you, there was an incident with a young man being arrested illegally down at McDonald's. Okay? We were informed that a letter was sent to them about this parking lot and me leaving my vehicle on that parking lot. Now, you're going to see numerous days where there are other vehicles parked on that parking lot all night long. And matter of fact, I'm going out tonight, September the 19th, and record vehicles parked on that parking lot. Okay? And they're still parked there after we were told to get off of. And I'm going to show it to you. Okay? And these vehicles belong to a business over in Bank of America. They have individuals who work in Bank of America, park over here, and just leave their vehicles. They have people who come to this parking lot, get alcohol from the bar, sit in the parking lot, drink their alcohol, kick the bobo with other people all day long. And nobody says anything about them. Nothing. But there seemed to be a problem with me doing it. I don't do mechanic work. The young lady said, I've been told numerous times not to do mechanic work on this property. This code enforcement guy has only approached me one time. Okay. The other day he came and he caught this Pakistani guy on the property doing mechanic work. He gave him a $1,000 ticket. Not committing a crime, not doing anything on private property. Now, the Supreme Law says private property is secured. Okay, and no government agency can tell you what to do on your property. Okay, this isn't his property; it's the management's the owner's property. And if the owners would have came to him or me and told me they didn't want me on the property no more, I would have got off. But this officer went and solicited. Let me focus it for you. Solicited a trespass. And the thing about it is, nowhere in this letter does it say I committed any kind of crime, violation, or broke any kind of law. Nowhere. Nowhere has I been cited for breaking a law or anything else other than me sitting in a parking lot doing paperwork, and downloading my recordings on this parking lot. Just like I think drinking out in public is a crime. Snorting coke or doing drugs is a crime. But yet and still, I didn't do none of that. I wasn't arrested for none of that. I was never cited for none of that. But yet and still, they went and cited. And you listen to what this corrupt law enforcement officer says. You have been told numerous times not to do mechanic work on here. I even spoke to code enforcement one time when he gave me a piece of paper about the rules and regulations about not doing mechanic work in the county. That's it. After I called his supervisor, because this individual, this code enforcement guy, went and pulled every address that he could find about me and put it on a document. And when he came to give that ticket to him the other day, which I'm going to show you the video, I bummed his dumb ass out and asked him why did he do it. And now today, September the 19th, 2023, we get the attorney and we get this fictitious notice about a trespass of illegal acts on the property. To me, I wasn't doing mechanical work. Now, the other guy, that's a throw up in the air. But I never committed any kind of crime. Nobody ever came to me and approached me. The only time code enforcement came to me is to give me a notice of the rules and regulations, what you're going to see. So this was an illegal solicitation by this PG County officer. And if they thought they was going to get rid of me, this has only put more fuel on the fire, because now I got to start recording PG County in the act of doing more illegal things. And as you saw these videos of them, this is what leads up to this, of getting me out of there, like that's going to get me out of the area. It's not. It's just going to make me see that now Prince George's County got some real dirty officers that will go and solicit trespassing from individuals and lie to them and put them in a lawsuit. This is a commercial property where citizens go and buy stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, if the owner is watching this and the police officer, most of the businesses know me and they appreciate me being there, because I keep some of the homeless people from there and messing and robbing their stores. So now we're going to have to sue PG County and these officers and put them. You're going to hear recordings of me contacting Internal Affairs, the chief of police, leaving and we're going to contact the county executive. You're going to hear recordings of all that. This is a dirty law enforcement lady. She works for this association. I know that for a fact because some of the people that live in this area sees her parked over at these people's houses all the time. At these people, the association, this older group of ladies in this area is trying to regulate stuff. And it's also with the Spanish people. You're going to see recordings of Hispanic police officers coming and harassing this Indian guy so that Hispanic mechanics can come onto this property and do mechanical work. I'm telling you, it is time we get people in the office that puts a stop to this foolishness of letting one ethnic group dictate to what goes on in a certain area. You go down to Langley Park, Riverdale, they have took over these areas. And this is what is trying to happen here. But I'm telling you this, when they get through with that subway station down there in Langley Park, all of them are gone because custom and immigration coming through there and cleaning that area up. And this is where they're coming at now. They're down here on the weekends selling coconuts. They got these food trucks all lined up and down in this area now. And I'm telling you, this plays a part in them coming to get me off the property. I don't care about nobody else. Yeah, I'm recording them harassing this Indian Ethiopian guy, but getting me off, I didn't commit a crime. I didn't commit any infraction. I sit there, I download my footage, I write my paperwork, just like everybody else. They're drinking in the parking lot, they're hanging out in the parking lot. They're doing all kind of stuff in the parking lot and nobody says anything about it. Okay, I parked my surveillance van over there on that parking lot. You're going to see, just like everybody else parks their vans there or vehicles there overnight. Nobody says anything. This was profiling, harassment, racial discrimination, and an attempt to intimidate. And as you see in this letter, nowhere does it say I committed any kind of crime or any kind of infraction or anything that's unlawful. Working on a car on a private property is not unlawful. And this attorney should have known that. But we're going to see if he knows it when he gets to Greenbelt. Because I hate to say it, this attorney, along with Prince George's County, just got pulled into a civil lawsuit. Other citizens are allowed to go onto this property, leave their vehicles, go in and buy stuff, sit in the parking lot, not messing with nobody, enjoying a nice day, just sitting in their vehicles in the parking lot, and not one Prince George's County officer says something to them. The only officer that says something is this black female piece of garbage that you're going to see passing out these trespassing. We have had Prince George's County police come up and say that you're not doing nothing wrong, and there's nothing we can do about it. But this officer went outside her scope of duties to obtain these trespassing, and now they got this law, this corporation, this business, this plaza into a lawsuit, and we're going to sue. Because I'm telling you, this code enforcement guy, he better have some evidence showing me working on cars and doing it numerous times, and that somebody came to me. The thing about it is this, okay? You're going to hear her say, I was told numerous times to stop doing mechanical work. I never received a ticket. They gave him a ticket, the Pakistani, 2 tickets. But they never gave me a ticket. So let's have that evidence brought to court. And I record every time you come onto the property, code enforcement guy. You see, I'm one of the reasons why they stopped dumping in the trash cans. There, people coming and dumping their trash in there because management, businesses were getting tired of code enforcement coming down there saying they were at fault. But I'm telling you, this comes from Tacoma Park. Why they on me? I'm not going to get into another man's business about the car work, but they wanted me out of the area so that I wouldn't record. Well, I'm going to show you I can record even more now. I took my vehicle, parked it in a area where it could be parked at. Matter of fact, we're finna open up a garage for this Pakistani gentleman so he can start working in there to not work in these parking lots. This is what I'm going to do to show this officer. And I'm going to patrol this neighborhood, officer, and I'm going to catch you doing illegal shit. You do not need to wear that uniform and that badge. And these other 2 little clowns with her that refuse to give their name and badge number, chief, your protocol and your rules don't mean nothing because they're not doing what they're supposed to. That's the same thing about the PG County officer who got caught having sex in a park. They do what they want to do because the upper management don't give a fuck about it. So y'all stand by. Shit gonna get real with PG County too now.